By all outward appearances, there was no real difference between July 3rd, 1776 and July 5th. The American colonies were no more free and no more independent. Practically speaking, the governing structures weren't that different. So, what makes the 4th of July so special? I'm Michael Quinn Sullivan with a reflection on life and liberty. Consider this. We don't celebrate October 19th, 1781, which is the date that the War for American Independence ended. There are no parades commemorating September 3rd, 1783, when the Treaty of Paris formally concluded the war. No, we celebrate July 4th, 1776. That's the day when our founding fathers firmly, finally, and officially committed themselves, their lives, their fortunes, their sacred honor to the cause of American liberty. Now, make no mistake, many of them had done so personally and individually weeks, months, even years earlier. They already had an army, and blood had already been shed. Yet the 4th of July is celebrated because that's when they formally, out loud, with one voice, declared their independence. They acknowledged to each other and to a candid world that they were dissolving their political ties with England. We celebrate their commitment to fight. It's a recognition that, in the most important ways, by choosing to declare their independence, they had already achieved it. Nearly all of our founding fathers were men of faith. They understood that the struggle upon which they were to engage may or may not be successful in the eyes of the world. That didn't matter. They achieved freedom in their choice, declared on the 4th of July, and the fight ahead was merely the necessary consequence of that decision. On Independence Day, we celebrate our founding fathers' commitment to the ideals of self-governance. On Independence Day, we celebrate their willingness to exercise their convictions for themselves and for us. On this Independence Day, let us recommit ourselves to their founding convictions. Let us recognize that refusing to accept the yoke of tyranny is the highest expression of liberty. As it was in 1776, so it is today. The real difference between July 3rd and July 5th is what we commit ourselves to being on the 4th of July. The Reflections podcast is presented by Texas Scorecard. This edition was produced by Nick Shepard in the 1836 studios. If you like today's reflection, please take a moment to rate it, leave a review, and recommend it to your friends. I'm Michael Quinn Sullivan. Thanks for listening.